Hey guys, I am back, and this week is National Infertility Awareness Week. That's an awareness event by the Resolve organization for infertility. So I've been seeing a lot about this on social media, so I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to share a little bit about my story and my story with infertility treatments. So I was diagnosed with premature ovarian failure back when I was 17 years old. Premature ovarian failure is also known as premature ovarian insufficiency or premature menopause. There's some different ways of, saying the diagnosis, I guess. I've always called it premature ovarian failure. I understand some people like to call it something differently, or their doctors have called it something differently. I know a lot of people and even a lot of doctors don't like the word failure, which I can totally understand, and I could see, wanting to use different words around it to kind of flip the perspective. So totally respect that and whatever you want to call it. But basically it means that my ovaries stopped producing eggs and hormones and everything, and behaving like they're supposed to before a normal age. I think a normal age for menopause is 50s or so, late 40s. So I think premature ovarian failure or premature menopause is before age 40. And I read that this affects as many as 1 in 100 people, women. That's a pretty big number. Now losing ovarian function at 39 is different than 17, but depending on what your life plan is, it can be equally as devastating of a diagnosis. So if you're still wanting to have kids and you're 36 or 37, you should still have the ovarian function to do so, and to lose it is shocking and devastating to deal with, and results in a whole changing life plan. So yeah, for me, it was when I was 17 years old. I actually got in a car accident, and I had to get an x-ray, something like that, done, and they asked me if I could be pregnant. I said no, I've never even gotten my period. And so then the nurse told my doctor, who told my parents, and I got a referral to go to an endocrinologist, and she ended up making the diagnosis. So I'm a person who's never gotten normal periods. Started getting periods after the endocrinologist put me on first some other hormones, but then birth control pills to get a regular cycle going. So, and basically the advice was to keep going with those medications, and then to go to a fertility clinic when I was ready to have kids, and do that. They didn't really spell out donor egg IVF when I was in that age, but basically to go to a fertility clinic and do donor egg IVF when the time came. From what I understand, some people with premature ovarian failure might be able to get some eggs, kind of, it's a case by case thing like anything else, but for me it was not a possibility. So as far as treatment goes, through this channel I've gotten messages about some different types of treatments, which is something I'm going to look into when I'm not an active IVF treatment. But as far as what I've personally pursued, I tried to be part of a clinical trial at the University of Illinois, then the University of Chicago. Maybe it was the other way around. I'm having trouble with the memories right now. But it's basically a stem cell treatment where they take your own stem cells, and then basically inject those into the ovaries to get function going again, a goal of which to get the resume normal periods and resume egg production and be able to get those follicles where they could get one of your own eggs. Because the way that doctor, it's Dr. Al-Hindi at then the University of Illinois, explained is that I have eggs, but they're not able to extract them like out of the follicles. So that's something that kind of makes more sense when you're doing like the egg retrievals and stuff and know a little bit more about that. But I've never personally gone through the egg retrieval, so I'm not an expert on it or anything, but that's just how the expert on everything did explain it to me. So basically that trial got put on hold because of COVID, and it was moving really slow before COVID, to be honest. So yeah, if that becomes an option to resume at a different time, I'd totally still be interested. But I am very happy with the decision to move forward with donor egg IVF, and very grateful to have that option. Something that I think that's important to bring up during Infertility Awareness Week is that infertility treatments are very expensive. It's not even necessarily that they're stigmatized, which some of them are, I think. Everyone, that's a whole other topic that I could get into, but anyways, I think like people don't really realize how expensive it is and how little of it can be covered, and how it's totally fine for insurance companies not to cover it, even though it is a real medical issue. So I think that's something that's important to talk about, is that I'm very privileged to have the option to do donor egg IVF. It is more expensive than even just regular IVF, if there is such a thing as regular IVF. But any fertility treatment is expensive, and a lot of it is out of pocket. I'm lucky to have some infertility coverage through my employer, but with donor egg IVF, a lot of that is not covered because it's care for a person other than yourself. So my insurance plan, even though the end goal is to treat my medical issue and I need to do an egg retrieval on another person to do that, because it's an egg retrieval on another person, it is not covered. So yeah, that's something that I think is important to discuss, is the privilege there, and just to bring awareness to how the expenses of infertility treatment can take people out of the opportunity to grow their family because of financial concerns. So I'm very happy to have the option, and very happy that that's the road that we're going down right now. So that is what we're in the midst of right now. We have embryos that have been created from the donor egg retrieval and my husband's sperm, and we have done an embryo transfer, just kind of waiting to see the success of that. So that is where we're at right now with treatment, and I'm very happy to have this option. There's certainly considerations that come along with using donor eggs and third-party reproduction that don't happen in the fun and free way, like I like to call it. However, I think it's a beautiful thing and a beautiful opportunity to have, and I'm excited about it, and I'm glad to be bringing any awareness I can to donor egg IVF and premature ovarian failure. And I'm very happy that we, the infertility community, has resolved as an organization. And I think that things like this really are the bright spot of the internet and social media, because through Instagram, YouTube, those two mainly, some TikTok Reels type of thing, but through YouTube and Instagram, I've just been able to feel far less alone in all this, and just get more information and perspective, and have that out there on my feed. And it's really positive for my whole algorithm, because I'm sure some people can relate that, like, you know, I remember before I got engaged or married, I like was bummed out when I saw engagement and wedding posts and that kind of stuff. And now that I'm trying to have a child, like seeing like all those baby posts can be really hard. So to actively bring like other people in my similar situation into my social media has been super helpful. And I'm glad for Resolve to take a week and bring awareness to this. I know that they do this all year, but it's good to have an opportunity to share more about it and to bring awareness to the conditions and treatment that I'm doing, but then also to hear everyone else's stories too. I know that the color is supposed to be orange, but I actually don't want anything orange, so maybe I'll throw an orange emoji in or something. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel, and please comment below if you have any feedback or questions or anything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.